A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the stone. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessings and mercy of Allah be upon all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of International Islamic Propagation Center Canada, I welcome you all to today's lecture event. My name is Alam Muhammad and I'll be your host for this event. The topic of today's lecture is what Al-Quran says about Shia sect. Not the Shia sect prevailing, but Shia sect in general. For the sake of the newcomers, I would like to just briefly introduce you to Brother Muhammad Shaikh and IIPC Canada and the lecture format. Brother Muhammad Shaikh is the founding chairman of International Islamic Propagation Center in Canada and in Karachi, Pakistan, and he has transferred his center to Canada now since 2014, and we are registered as a non-profit charitable organization. International Islamic Propagation Center Canada propagates the message of Allah through the lectures delivered by Brother Muhammad Shaikh. Brother Muhammad Shaikh was ranked 4th in 2009 in Reuters as the most 500 most influential Muslims in the world. And consecutively in 2010, 2011, and 2012, he was given this honor in the book by the mercy of Allah. Brother Muhammad Shaikh has an association with Speaker Ahmad Deedat, Sheikh Ahmad Deedat. You all may have heard about him and know him. Brother Muhammad Shaikh was selected by Sheikh Ahmad Deedat from Pakistan. He was the only student who was selected and undergo training at the Dawa Center of Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, IPCI, which was in Durban, South Africa. And that was in 1988. Brother Muhammad Shaikh was awarded the certificate of comparative study at that institution. It can be observed that although a brief student-teacher relationship was maintained, Brother Muhammad Shaikh does not follow Ahmad Deedat in entirety. He has adopted Ahmad Deedat's approach on biblical criticism and Muslim-Christian dialogues. But a comparative analysis of the lectures of these two speakers demonstrate that they have different positions on varieties of issues. For example, Sheikh Ahmad Deedat, he considered some parts of Judeo-Christian scriptures to be divine, whereas Brother Muhammad Shaikh maintains that it is in its entirety entirely a man-written, man-made scriptures. Brother Muhammad Shaikh has delivered more than 60 lectures on different topics from Al-Quran. Coming to IIPC Canada, International Islamic Propagation Center Canada is a formal registered charitable organization, and we are helping poor and needies. Apart from the deliverance of message of Allah through the lectures of Brother Muhammad Shaikh, we also have IIPC TV channel, which was again founded by Brother Muhammad Shaikh, and it is available on almost all the platforms which are, I'll give you such a few examples. Like he is on, the channel is on Roku, it is on Apple TV, we are on Amazon Fire, NVIDIA Shield, OTT players, Tiki Live, My Box, and you name it. You just have to get the subscription, and the lectures are free, and the channel is free for you. And if, inshallah, maybe after the lecture session, we have an app which is called IIPC TV app. And those of you who have Android or Apple TV, you just have to go to the Apple Store or Google Play and type IIP as in Peter C TV, and the application, especially for the newcomers, will be available on your fingertips. And it has all the VODs and the live lectures, live TV channel as well, and the booklets of the, the lectures. Coming to today's lecture event, you all should have this booklet. And Brother Muhammad Shaikh has a unique approach, and he's the only speaker who collects the ayats on various topics from Al Quran, and he ponders on the ayats, and by the help of Allah, the topic is clarified as you will witness it today. So, this booklet has Arabic and English translation, which is compiled by Brother Muhammad Shaikh. It will be easier for you to follow the lecture, whatever he's speaking, the sequence is mentioned in the booklet, the Arabic and the translation. And at the end of the lecture, inshallah, you can ask if you have any questions, just any clarification you need from the topic today. I will explain further details about the question and answer session at the end of the lecture. So with this, I invite Brother Muhammad Shaikh to come up to the mic and tell us what Al-Quran says about Shia sect. Brother Muhammad Shaikh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings of Allah to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today's topic is what Al Quran says about Shia, sects. If you just hear the word Shia, you may think that I'm talking about the Shia community. No, I'm talking about the Shia, the word sects used in the Quran, how it is used, and what we get the understanding from the Shia, the sects. How many sects? They say 74, whatever, but there are sects, and how the sects are made in the world. That's what the Quran has to say about that. And a sect, if you just the meaning of the sect is any group or party or a faction united by set specific rules, regulations, or doctrine, specifically under a specific leader. That is what the people follow, a particular sect. That is the meaning. Now, the word Shia without ta is plural, Shia sects, and with ta is Shia, Shiata is singular, and Ashia is also plural. So when I say Shia, means sects. What the Quran says about Shia, sects, that's sects. So now, first of all, I will read an ayah that refers to the judgment or the deen of Allah. Al Imran 3 and ayah 19. Inna dina inda Allah al-Islam وما اختلف الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءهم العلم بغيا بينهم ومن يكفر بآيات الله فإن الله سريع الحساب. Surely at deen the judgment in the nearness of Allah is al-Islam, and those who are given al-Kitab, the book, did not differ except to wrong each other after the knowledge came to them. And whosoever rejects with the ayat signs of Allah, then surely Allah is quick in taking the account. In this ayah, Allah says the judgment in the nearness of Allah is al-Islam. Islam means peace to the submission to the will of Allah. So we all so-called Muslims who submit, accept or believe that Islam is the judgment from Allah. Now, normally people think that Deen is a religion and judgment is a millah. They don't know the word millah. We don't follow the religion. There is no such thing as religion of Allah. You must understand this. There is no such thing as religion of Allah. These are the judgment laid down in the eyes of Allah, the ahkamat, the governing verses. We have to understand those verses and ayahs and we govern ourselves. But what is the religion is Millata Abikum Ibrahim, the religion of Ibrahim, peace be upon him, the ancestor or father of our Muslims. So, so normally we have to understand that normally people think this is a religion of Allah. No, this is a judgment of Allah laid down in the ayahs in Dina in the light Islam. And what happened? People, after the knowledge came to them, they differ. وَمَا اخْتَلَفَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ إِلَّا مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْعِلْمُ بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُم. So you will see the sect is how the sect is introducing the ayat. Allah is explaining. Whenever the people read the Quranic ayahs and the understanding that they comes to them, the real understanding, so they want to make the other people wrong to say that you don't know, I know. You don't know, I know. So to put the to people wrong to each other, that is why they differ. They did not differ, but just to say to the other people that you are wrong, they differ. And Allah said, وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ, and whosoever rejects with the ayat of Allah, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ سَرِيعُ الْحِسَابِ, surely whoever rejects the ayats of Allah, surely Allah is quick in taking the account. So in this verse we came to know the judgment in the nearness of Allah is Islam, peace to the submission to the will of Allah, and people who differ when the knowledge comes to them. So there are people who are, whenever the knowledge comes, then they differ. When they don't know anything, they just want to listen and want to gain knowledge. So if you want to gain knowledge, that's all right, but you have to know, after the knowledge, you have to guide yourself or you have to correct yourself. Guidance is required rather than knowledge. Knowledge with guidance is right. Knowledge without guidance is just in the air. So this what Allah says, after the knowledge has come, the people who wrong to each other, that is not correct. Now Surah Hajj 22:78, وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ هُوَ اجْتَبَاكُمْ وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ مِلَّةَ أَبِيكُمْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ هُوَ سَمَّاكُمُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ من قبل وفي هذا ليكون الرسول شهيدا عليكم وتكونوا شهداء على الناس فأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واعتصموا بالله هو مولاكم فنعم المولى ونعم النصير. And you strive in Allah as the right of striving in Him. He has selected you and He has made no difficulty over you in ad-din, the judgment, the millah, religion of your ancestor Ibrahim. He has named you Muslim submitters from before and in this, so that the messenger is a witness over you and you be the witness over mankind. Then establish the salah, the prayer, give zakah, the justification, and hold fast with Allah. He is your protector and He is the best blessed protector and blessed helper. Now, in this ayah, Allah is asking, educating us that we have to struggle or jihad in Allah. Now, normally, if you have got the wrong concept of jihad, it's like fighting. So, how can you fight in Allah? How you have wars in Allah? So, it doesn't mean war or holy war. It just means struggle in Allah as the right of struggle. Meaning that whatever the ayahs Allah mentioned in the governing ayahs, you struggle to achieve them and you struggle to correct your understanding or your lifestyle. So that struggling is jihad to attain to right. Allah says, "Jahidu fil wajahidu fillahi haqqa jihadi." You struggle in Allah as the right how to struggle in the correct way. So then further he says, وَاجْتَبَاكُمْ وَمَا جَعَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. And Allah has selected you and has made no difficulty in the deen or in the judgment, no difficulty in the judgments. Whatever the judgments laid down in the ayat, there is no difficulty in adopting or applying to yourself because they are so according to our nature. It's not difficulty. And what is the religion? Now the word religion is billah. In Arabic, millah means religion. Millah. Millata abikum Ibrahim. It is your father Ibrahim or ancestor Ibrahim religion. So it is not Allah has laid down the deen, the judgments. And what is the religion? You have to follow from Ibrahim al-Islam, as he is also mentioned as the father, ancestor, and Uswa Hasana, the most beautiful example to follow. So in this context, the religion we are following, Muslim world, so to say, are following the religion of Ibrahim. And he says, Huwa sammakum al-Muslimin. So has named us Muslim, Allah. So now in this ayah we come to know that Allah is naming us Muslim submitters. Submitters to who? To Him, to Allah. I submit my will. There are so many things that a man desires, intellectually or emotionally, he has to submit to the will of Allah. That is, you become a Muslim submission. And that is the sect we are, the Muslim sect. You have to understand. I am using the word sect. The ayat doesn't say, but I am telling you that Muslim means submission to the will of Allah. When you submit to the ayahs of Allah, you are submitting to the ayahs, and that is the sect we are, Muslim. When you say Muslim, that means I am submitting to the ayahs. So this is what it says, Huwa sammakul Muslim min qabl, from before, wa fi hada, and this. It is not new submission, it is from the ancient times that we have to submit to the ayahs of Allah. So that the messenger is a witness over you, and you be the witness over mankind. How can a messenger be a witness over us? Is by the ayahs. Because the ayahs is the qawle Rasulun Kareem. It is not the qawl of Allah, it is the kalam, the words of Allah. It is the revelation of Allah. It is the inspiration of Allah. It's said by messenger. So whenever I read the ayat or anyone here reads the ayat, so he is following the Allah's words and the saying of the messenger. So he is following the saying of the messenger. That is why Allah says that the messenger be a witness over you and you be the witness over mankind. So how can I be the witness over mankind? By reciting the same ayahs to people. I believe in the ayahs, I accept the ayahs, and I correct myself by the ayahs. And once I read the ayat to other people, I be a witness over mankind. Everyone, the Muslims has to do this. So the message is a witness. How? Because when you're reading the ayahs of Allah, this is the Qawli Rasul Kareem. So this is how the messenger be a witness over us. And when we read the ayahs back to mankind to educate, is again we be the witness over them. So Allah says, لِيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ شَهِيدًا عَلَيْكُمْ وَتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ النَّاسِ. That he, the messenger, is a witness over us, and we be the witness over other mankind who don't know. فَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. So establish the salah and give justification. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ. And hold fast to Allah. هُوَ مَوْلَاكُمْ. He is our protector. He is the best of the protector, or the blessed protector and the blessed of helper. So now in this verse, we have come to know that we are Muslims. Muslim means submitters. Allah has named us Muslims. And the deen, the judgment is Islam. The religion is Millat Abikum Ibrahim, your ancestor, father Ibrahim's religion. It is not the religion of Allah. It is the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. How Ibrahim alayhi salam followed the system of the judgments of Allah. Allah mentioned the ayat. And he's also our Uswasna, the best of example. So in further, Surah Rum 30 and Ayah 30. فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا فِطْرَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي فَطَرَ النَّاسَ عَلَيْهَا لَا تَبْدِيلَ لِخَلْقِ اللَّهِ ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. So establish your face for the Hanif firmly on one side, upright judgment. The nature of Allah is that He made the nature of mankind over it. There is no change for the creation of Allah. That is the judgment established, but the majority of mankind do not know. Now, the word Hanifa, I just give you the meaning of Hanifa is bend inclines to the right judgment. A man or a human being, a woman or a man or a human being who's bend towards the right judgment, is always bending towards the right judgment, is Hanifa. So Allah says Allah has made mankind over His nature. فِطْرَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي فَطَرَ النَّاسَ عَلَيْهَا. So Allah's nature and mankind nature, we have to understand the nature or the attributes, or Allah is described by His attributes names. Like for example, is Khaliq, the creator, Ar-Rahman, the most gracious, Ar-Rahim, the merciful, Wudud, loving, and so on. There are above 100 attributes. The similar attributes we have got. But the difference, what our body requires, like we eat, we drink, we sleep, that's human body requirement. We are a combination of body and soul. So spiritually, Allah's attributes is same our attributes, but His attributes are eternal. Our is limited to a time frame that we live in. Like we can also create, but we cannot create like God. We can also love, as Allah love is loving, but we can't be eternal lover. For Allah, everything is eternal. Like for example, if you say creator, He is eternal creator. For He is Ar-Rahman, the most gracious, eternal most gracious. We are limited to our own lifestyle, life span, and little. So we have to align to the, first of all, we have to know the attributes of Allah. Then we have to know when Allah is wudud and loving, and when He is not angry also. So we also go by the ayahs or following the commandments of Allah. Then only you come to know that I am following the attributes of Allah. For example, I'll give you examples like you have to love your parents. So the love word Allah is mentioned, Allah is loving. So now Allah is telling you that you love your parents. So now the love attribute is there for you, but you cannot surpass the law of God by loving your parents. If you surpass the law of God by loving your parents, then you are not following Allah, you are following your own desire. Or you love someone which is not right, other than parents, suppose. So that is the attribute that you have to know what God, Allah is telling us to love who, or to create what. Anything what you like people are do musawwir, they make pictures, that is all right, because Allah is musawwir. But the point is, what are you making? Making good things or bad things? So that is what is countable, not what you are. So fitrat of Allah is the again fitrat of mankind. So all the attributes of Allah in the Quran, the same we have got. The difference is that we are humans. So our body requires sleep, hunger, that is all body requirements, food, nourishment. That is not Allah. Allah is spiritual. So spiritually, we and Allah should be spiritually same. So whenever we go against the nature of Allah that has been created by Allah, we get guilty. Why you get guilty? Because Allah has put the fitra, the nature in you, what is right and wrong. So the moment you go do wrong, it's the guilt comes. Why? That is the fitrat of Allah in you. So that is Allah is expect that we have to keep on correcting by the ayahs what Allah says and what Allah says in the ayahs. So fitra nature, the particular combination of qualities belonging to a person, animal, being, or a class by birth, origin of constitution, native or inherent character, the nature of man. But I am also telling you that spiritually we and Allah similar attributes. That's eternal, we are limited. So you can see that man has created this camera, but the eyes, Allah created the eyes, by which you make this camera. Similar sounds. Sound is also principle of ear and drums and everything. Whatever we do is following Allah's creation, and we make something. So we are creator, but not like Allah. So attributes are the same.